What it do, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend, so get out there, have a good time, and enjoy yourself. Especially if you've been working hard throughout the week, enjoy it this weekend, all right? May the 4th be with you. Let's get started. So I'm a firm believer in when you buy new gear, you should test it out. You need to make sure that this gear is going to do exactly what you want it to do, and it's going to be comfortable sitting on your body, especially if it's something that you're going to be using for your defense. So while my EDC changes, throughout the month, the year, whatever, I might change a holster, I might change a gun, I might change something on it, but I always make sure that I practice with it. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be out here testing out some gear, which is pretty much going to be this new holster. This is the Tier 1 MSP Pro Flex. This is the holster that is designed to lock onto my light and not my gun. So bear with me, it's a little windy out here, but hopefully the sound is good and the picture stays. So this is pretty much my way of testing my gear to make sure that I'm going to be able to, be comfortable with it out in the field. What I usually do is I'll wear this holster. I actually did wear this holster around the house for a couple of days just to see, what it felt like, adjust the settings and everything on it. And then this is what I do this all the time with every holster. I don't just buy a holster and then throw it on and I'm walking out of the house without practicing with it first. So if you know me, I'm really big on practice, 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 especially when it comes to your EDC. You should be practicing at least 10 minutes at a minimum every morning before you walk out the door, put that gun on and walk out the door to protect yourself. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to be moving around, doing some stuff here on the range, taking some shots at some targets, but I'm also making sure that this holster is going to be comfortable enough for me to wear on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to be using this. This is my Canik Mate, hopefully I said that right, SFT Pro. One of their fairly new models, but I think the newest one out right now is the TTI and the MC9. So, this one still new to me, but I'm going to be using this. Now, yes, it's a bigger gun. I'm a huge Walther fan, but I do like Caniks as well. I got a couple of them and I love the way they feel. And for the price you pay and what you're going to get out of the box, you can't go wrong with Canik. You get a lot of stuff in the Canik box. I've got the Streamlight TLR1, Holosun 507K. Everything fits right. I did have to shave off some of the little dimples on the back of the base plate in order to get this thing to stay on there. But hey, it looks good. Hey, if you're a Canik fan, hit that like and subscribe button. I got more coming when it comes to Canik. Okay. So leave a comment. I'm huge, I will answer questions. I will talk to you guys. I will answer your questions the best way I can. And forgive me if I come off as a smart ass at times, but I will answer your questions when it comes to firearms. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be doing some running around, some, body weight exercises, just normal things to see how the holster feels, how it sits, if it moves, if I can still have access to it while I'm doing certain things. But pretty much that's all we're going to be doing. And I've got a couple targets downrange here that I'm going to be taking some shots at. But you guys stay tuned. I put the holster on. I know how it fits because once I got it, I made some adjustments to it. Then I started wearing it around the house, in and out of my car, just to see how it felt. And it was comfortable enough for me to say, yes, I will make this work. So we're out here today to test all of that and make sure everything works as it should. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. Believe it or not, today, while I was doing this, my plan was to do a live video. I did not know that I could not shoot a firearm, live stream it to show you guys. So y'all are going to get the recording. Lesson learned. I'm new to this YouTube stuff, but hey, we all make mistakes and we got to learn from them, right? So let's get started. So what we're going to be doing is moving around, shooting, doing some push-ups, sit-ups, running in place, some sprints, just to see how comfortable this holster is doing everyday movements. And I know it's not every day, but I like to test this equipment to see exactly how it feels, so I know if I'm going to be comfortable carrying it with me on a day-to-day basis and how it works. So we're going to be hitting these smaller targets. like so. I've got the dummies out. I've got another target set up, and we're pretty much going to be doing 25 yards in, 25 yards back, back and forth, just to see exactly, shooting from different positions and see exactly how the holster stands up. So, like I said, got the gun on, got the holster, everything seems to fit just right. You know, this is a very comfortable setup. I can run in place, leg lifts, do everything that I need to be doing, whatever, sits right. It feels good. I like that in a holster, especially because I'm a very active person. I do a lot of stuff throughout the day where I'm constantly moving around. I don't want to have a holster sitting on my body that that I'm very uncomfortable with. Not only that, like I said, I got to get out and practice with it to make sure that I'm going to be comfortable enough to move around and do everyday stuff with it. So right now we're going to take some shots at a target. These are pretty much, believe it or not, this gun, these are going to be some of the very first shots out of this gun. If you tuned into my live earlier, you saw when I started to take the shots, I got cut off. So these are going to be more of my first shots, because after that went off, I didn't even finish. So these are going to be some of my first shots coming out of this gun. We're going to test this out, see how this thing does. I got two 18-round magazines. We're going to see how it does. And hopefully this will be turned into something that I get to carry with me every day. But like I said earlier, I might go back to my Walther. So let's test this out. Gun feels good. I'm liking that. Oop, saw that, I messed it up. That's why we practice. New gun, new setup. That's why we practice. That feels good. Everybody knows that Canik is known for their triggers. You don't know. Look at this. Wall, break. Look at that reset. That is awesome. I gotta say, I like my Caniks. So my shots are a little high. I got to make some adjustments, which is okay. I'm out here to practice first shots through the firearm. So yes, I'm going to have to make some adjustments. So give me a second while I do that, and we'll be back. So far, so good. I'm enjoying how this gun feels in my hand. I might make it my everyday carry gun. It's a little big, but hey, it's not the size that matters. Okay. I'm liking how it feels so far. Gun feels good in my hands. My sight's a little off. I have made some adjustments. So we're going to see exactly where we're at now. I'm going to do 2 more magazines, 10 rounds apiece. Usually when I'm testing out a new firearm, I'll probably shoot close to like maybe 200, 300 rounds out of it that first go before I even start doing anything really with it. And that's just to see, how the firearm handles and make sure the magazines feed correctly and see how the gun feels in my hand overall. But so far, everything is looking good. We're going to move on, hit some more targets, and see what we can do. I will say this though, Tier 1 Concealed, you guys are amazing when it comes to making holsters. This holster with this size gun is super comfortable. I feel like I can just do just about anything with this, except for fly. That's not my thing. So let's check this out. I'm touching myself tonight. Now, this isn't a review on the firearm or the holster. We all know Canik makes some really good firearms. We all know that Tier 1 Concealed makes some really good holsters. So we know both of those items work. This is just me putting them together and working through a couple of things to see if I'm going to make this my EDC. Pretty much just doing some moving around, some shooting, just to test everything together. I want to make sure that the gun stays in the holster, that the retention is right. I want to make sure that the holster doesn't, move. It's not uncomfortable. So that's all we're doing. And we're having fun while we're doing it. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me. I'm a small channel. I'm just getting started. But I'm trying to get up there with all these other big gun tubers. I don't even know if I want to call myself a gun tuber. I'm just having fun on YouTube. That's what I'm doing. So if you enjoy my content, if you want to see more of my content, hit me up. Hit that like and subscribe button. I try to put out a video maybe once, twice a week. I've seen enough videos where they say, hey, do 3 videos a week, post shorts, post long videos. I'm working on it, okay? Slowly but surely, I'll get there. But in the meantime, I'm in no rush. It's all about the journey, getting to that destination. So let's get back out there. Y'all ready for this? Tell me this isn't a good way to test out your equipment. Yeah, I like that. So let's check out my shots, see how I did. Yeah, I dropped one. All the rest of them in there. Yeah, I know it's a lot of tape. Had to do some zeroing. But on this one, I think that's pretty good. Of course I can work on it, and I am. But I like to use the small targets, aim small, miss small. So we're going to keep at it and see how we can do. All right, let's go again. I'm going to say do this until you get tired, but hey, do it until you can't do it anymore, right? Yeah, we're getting it. Got to tuck in my tactical shelf. I'll buy that for $1. So the holster works, the gun works, they fit well, they work well together. I did a couple of other things that I didn't show on camera just because of the YouTube guidelines. So that being said, this is a good setup. It sits well, fits well, you know, it's very comfortable. The gun, for it to be as big as it is, it doesn't even feel like a big gun in my hands, and it doesn't even feel like a big gun wearing it just like this with this holster. Sure, there's going to be a lot of people that have their say about, you know, how they feel about certain things, but for me, it's important to know that the gear that I'm carrying, I can move with it, I can jump around, play, do whatever it is that I'm doing throughout my day, and the gun stays in the holster. So, like I said earlier, every time I get a new holster, I come out here and I do stuff with it. I'm jumping around, I'm doing push-ups, sit-ups, running, you know, doing a couple of other things that I can't show on YouTube. But the thing is, Tier 1 concealed holster is the MSP Pro Flex series. This holster doesn't even make this gun feel that big, and it stays in place. I can sit in my car, sit down at the table to eat, you know, walk around, run up and down some stairs. I can do a lot of stuff with this holster on, and it's comfortable. So like I said, test your gear and hit that like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. It also helps this whole algorithm thing. But you know what? This Second Amendment content, people need to see that. They need to be able to see what needs to be done in order for them to be comfortable with their firearm, especially if they're new to carrying a firearm. Hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you're a Canik fan. Let me know. So, what we're able to figure out is that the Canik Mate Pro and the MSP holster from Tier 1 Concealed, both of them work really well together. They're very comfortable. It doesn't feel like the holster is too big, and it really doesn't make the gun feel like it's too big either. So that being said, I might just make this an EDC. Um, in the meantime, I'm going to continue to train with it and see, you know, how comfortable I can get with it. But like I said, you know, when you really look at the overall for all of this stuff, what you're really looking at is what's going to be comfortable for you, what's going to make you feel good, what's going to make you, you know, feel confident, especially in the gear that you're carrying. This setup is perfectly fine. Like I said, the holster pretty much attaches to the light itself. So it secures the light inside of there, and it pretty much locks it in. I mean, I'm not out doing cartwheels or anything like that, so we shouldn't have that whole FBI issue that happened a long time ago. But you know, the holster, it sits well, it locks the firearm in there, and the gun is good too. You know, at the end of the day, it all comes down to what are you going to be comfortable with? What are you going to be comfortable carrying? What do you consider a, you know, the best way for you to protect yourself? And for a firearm this size, it feels really good, especially, you know, I carry appendix, so you know my firearm sits right in front of me, and all guys are going to say, oh, you know, you're going to shoot the dick off. But at the end of the day, it's a lot quicker, my draw is a lot faster, and not only that, but it's comfortable to me. It's going to be different for everybody else, but for me, this is a very comfortable setup. Like I said, this is the MSP Pro Flex series from Tier 1 Concealed, and this is the Canik Mate Pro SFT model. It's a big firearm, but still it sits very comfortably inside the holster. And not only that, but it feels good on me. So it's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be your choice. I like to say, you do what you're comfortable with. What you see online, if it doesn't work for you, it's not going to work for you. So find whatever works for you, make it work, and get out there and practice, because that's the only way that we're going to get good with the tools that we carry. And I will tell you, right off the bat right now, that I will be out practicing with this quite a bit to get this thing right and make sure that it feels good. Today, you did get to see just a couple of things that I do when it comes to, building a new holster. Today was just a little taste of that. So understand that I'm looking at making this possibly a everyday carry gun for me. Switch it up from the Walther every now and then and carry this. But we'll see. At the end of the day, it's all about comfort. It's all about what makes you feel good. But you have to be out there and test your equipment, because you don't want that equipment to fail you, especially if your life is, on the line and you have to pull that firearm out of that holster. You want to make sure that all your gear works. So this is the Combat Syndicate signing off.